right, welcome back to Ghoulin Around. Today we're going to talk about Dresden Files, Book 5 and 6. And I'm your host, Joanne Massey, and with me is...
Loretta Mooney.
Mom. So, it's been a while since we've made it through another 2 books, but we're getting there. So, number 5 was what? Death Mass?
Death Mass, yep.
And then 6 was... Blood Rites?
Blood Rites.
Oh my gosh. There's so many of them. I can't keep track.
Yeah, so it's hard to keep track of them.
Yeah, I keep thinking 6 because it's called Skin Games.
Yeah.
But that's not till like way later.
Yeah.
But I keep thinking it's called Skin Games because it has to do with porn. So
the first one, book 5, is Death Mass. And in this one, Harry finds some more demons to fight. They're called Denarians. We also meet...
we get the brothers... the knights involved.
Yeah,
you get to meet the other 2
knights.
Yeah.
We've already met Michael. Now we meet
Shiro
and
what was the black guy's name?
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. You give me the black guy. He wasn't.
I'm actually listening to it again right now, and now I can't even remember.
Can't remember. Shiro was a big part. Sonia, that's right.
Sonia.
But Shiro was a huge part of this one.
You know, and even though we just met him, and sorry, this is going to be a spoiler.
All of it's spoilers.
Yeah, all of this is going to be spoilers. Even though we just met Shiro, I kind of fell in love with his character, and it kind of really hurt when he died.
Yeah, he only lasts, you meet him in this book, and then he dies at the end. But
no, he dies in the middle.
Is it in the middle? Yeah, he dies. It doesn't take too long for him to, die, but
I
just
really liked him.
The character and what you learn about him, it was just like, wow, like...
Yeah.
It was really in-depth on this character and his beliefs and his personality, just the way he was.
Yes.
Like, that's what a good person is.
Yeah, exactly. And he's kind of like the lead of the 3 knights. And we also, what he gets into is with the Denarians, they're trying to put a plague out for it to kill people. And they're after a shroud is what, a piece of the shroud from, I guess, Jesus. Mm-hmm. So they're hunting down this, and of course they all come to Chicago, and Harry gets in the middle of it, and they keep telling him to stay out of it, and he gets, he still has the Red Court after him, so he, in the midst of all of this, he also is in a duel with Ortega.
Yeah.
And we meet the Archive.
Oh, I love the Archive.
I love her so much. And Kincaid, yes.
Yeah, the Archive's so cute.
Yeah. So we meet them 2 also in this book. And both of them show up later, and you haven't gotten that far, but they both show up later, and so we still get to interact with them even after this book. But there's just
Thomas
a whole
bunch.
Again. Thomas is in this one. Thomas is going to become a huge part of all of these books. When we get to the next book, you guys will find out why. Yeah. But right now we're just kind of summarizing this book.
The 5th one. So anyway, like the Denarians are like these, they're not really demons, but they're not. They're fallen angels that are trapped in coins, and whoever is the owner of the coin, it kind of corrupts their soul and kind of like
changes
them, and they become, the fallen angel kind of embeds themselves into this person.
Yes.
And they just become like demons pretty much. But so what was the head guy, the head Denarian? I can't remember his name. But he was trying to get the shroud and release the plague on the world and stuff like that, and pretty much so Harry gets involved, and they're trying to corrupt him and trying to get a coin as well, and he's trying to stay away from the coin. And then you find out at the end of this book, he's over at Michael's house, and the little boy Harry is playing outside.
Yeah, the child that was named after him
was playing outside, and one of these coins was in the grass, and the kid was about to pick it up, so
it got thrown out there actually just for Harry to pick it up, because they knew that he would save the little kid. Harry.
Yeah, and so Harry ended up picking it up. So then he's kind of imprinted with Lashiel at this point. And I believe it's at the end of the book, he does bury it in his basement in
Yes.
cement. Yeah.
Yeah, he buries it, puts it under cement, but it still has a little bit of an influence.
Yes.
On
And
him.
We find that in the next book.
Yeah.
So he's now got this imprint of a fallen angel. Shiro dies. Harry gets the sword.
Yeah, they
That's
get
a huge part, too.
Shiro gives Harry the sword to hold until they find the next owner of one of the swords of the knights.
So that was a big deal because now we have we got to find another knight because there's always supposed to be 3. So now it's kind of who's going to be the knight now, and I'm pretty sure you already know. But
yes, I do.
I don't know, so
yes,
we're
I do.
getting there.
Is this the one that we meet Butters too?
Yes, this is where we
just
meet Butters
in
because
this one.
Butters tries to. He's the mortician for
and Butters, and you haven't gotten quite this far, but Butters becomes a very big part of these. So
I know. I'm reading the 7th one right now.
Okay.
He's a big part of the 7th one.
Yes,
but anyway, so we just meet Butters, and he's like a mortician, but his background is he's kind of seen the bad stuff of the world that people don't normally see, like the werewolves and whatnot, and he was institutionalized in a mental hospital and almost lost his license, but they gave him a second chance. And so now he's kind of down in the dumps. Nobody really knows about him. So he just works up the lab work on these bodies and stuff. And he sees stuff that he can't really explain, but he can't say anything because he doesn't want to
get locked up again in asylum again. So
Murphy and Dresden go down there and talk to him about one of the bodies that was killed by the plague that they had released. And so now he's kind of becoming a part of the supernatural world again, but he's gonna have to keep his mouth shut. So that's basically what the 5th book is about. Is the biggest parts is now we have another knight that we gotta find, and also now Harry's got an imprint of Lashiel. And then we go into the 6th book, and I don't know why I always want to call it Skin Games, because it's there's a lot of skin in this book.
This one is the 6th one is Blood Rights.
Blood Rights, yeah.
And this one, now that we've gotten to this one, we can tell the big secret.
No, you gotta start from the beginning of the book. So
there's a huge secret.
Harry gets involved with a director named Ortega, and Harry doesn't watch movies, so he doesn't know what Ortega does, and later he finds out that he's a porn director, and so he's on the set of porn all day long while these curses are being
he hired Harry to find out where the curses were coming from
because they were trying to kill people around Ortega, like the girls. And because I guess Ortega's had 4 ex-wives at this point, and possibly
4 or 5.
4 or 5, and he was about to marry
that.
another one. So somebody was releasing this curse to kill the women around him so that he wouldn't marry again, so they can get the fortune.
Yeah, because nobody was supposed to know who it was that he was supposed to be marrying.
Yeah.
So the curse was just killing pretty much any woman that was around him.
Yeah. And so Harry gets involved in that, and then of course. So the very beginning of the book, the very first where it starts off, is he's rescuing these puppies out of this building of giant monkey throwing poo things.
Yes.
And
they are temple dogs that he's rescuing.
Yeah.
Somebody had stolen them from...
I don't know.
I can't remember now.
But they're supposed to be guard dogs. If, they know about the supernatural and stuff like that. And so he gives them back to the guy after he rescues them. But one of them's a stowaway in his car and he doesn't know it. So he ends up with this puppy he's carrying around because he can't get a hold of the guy again to give him back the puppy. So eventually Harry ends up with a puppy.
His name is Mouse.
Yeah, his name's Mouse.
Because he didn't realize how big a food dog was going to become.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to stay small.
Yeah, he thought he was going to stay small, and he made little squeaky noises, so he named him Mouse, and then, he's a giant freaking terror.
Bulldozer.
Yeah. But
Mouse, everybody would. Mouse is my favorite. Like, cute. To this point, he's my favorite.
Of course, Mr. does not like this.
No, not at all.
Mr. the cat is not happy with the dog in his area. But anyway, so like about halfway through this book, Thomas is like helping out Harry with all these cases and stuff like that, and Thomas ends up getting hurt, and they have to go back to his house to heal him. He ends up almost killing Justine. Stuff happens. There's stuff with his sisters and whatnot and all that. But then he tells Harry the big secret that he is actually Harry's brother.
Half-brother.
His mom, they share the same mom.
Yeah, share the same mom.
They say they have the same amulet and everything. Yeah. So, you find
that's
out.
The big secret for this book.
Yeah.
Is Thomas is Harry's half-brother.
Mm-hmm. And so they have, the Black Court vampires are after them in this one. Marva?
Yeah.
I can never say her name.
Marvella?
Marva? I don't know.
Something like that.
Marva, I think is what it is. But she's after them and wants to kill them. And so then, like, this huge raid party at the very end goes on. And it's Harry, Kincaid, Murphy, and the one that taught him. What was his name?
Ebenezer.
Yeah, it was all them. They go in and try to kill the Black Court vampires. They think they killed her. They didn't, but we all know they didn't. It was too easy.
It was too easy.
Way too easy. So then you got that, and Harry gets his hand burned pretty bad.
Yeah, really bad. This is the one where when he's done with the fighting, the doctors tell him that they should amputate it. Mm-hmm. So,
and he's like, "No, my hand." He turns into a child.
Turns into a 2-year-old.
Yeah. So,
my hand, I'm keeping it.
Yeah, they're like, even if you keep the hand, it'll heal, but you're not going to have very much movement or not much nerves and stuff like that. And he's just like, no, my hand. And he ends up keeping his hand. And the doctors point out that he's got these pieces of non-burnt skin on his hand. And so he looks at them, and it's the symbol for Lashiel.
Mm-hmm. It's Lashiel's sigil. There we go.
We're really bad at words today.
Yeah, really bad at words today.
But so you find that out at the very end of this book, that he's got Lashiel's symbol on his hand.
And he hides it. He actually buys a pair of gloves to hide his hand plus the sigil. Yeah,
he wraps up his hand and hides it all the time. So, and then he has to pretty much like relearn how to do things, because now his hand's burnt and he can't really use it for magic and stuff. His magic is pretty ruined at this point because his shield bracelets are warped from the heat and all this stuff, and he's having trouble. What else happens? I'm trying to think of what happens in the 7th one so I don't spoil too far, because I'm like, some of it goes right into the next one, so it's hard to differentiate sometimes. That was the big thing about this one. You learn a lot about Thomas's family, like Laura and what was his other sister's name?
I can't remember the young one.
Yeah, the younger one.
You find out. So Thomas is a White Court vampire. So you have in this book, you have Black Court, you have Red Court, and you have White Court. They are all pretty different. Of course, Thomas is White Court. So basically what a White Court vampire is they feed off of lust. So they actually don't like kill and drink blood like
they can kill from the lust.
They can kill from the lust because it takes the energy out of the person. Mm-hmm. But they don't necessarily like drink the blood like the Red Court.
And so you find out that all of Thomas's brothers have died in the past of mysterious circumstances. The only ones that survive are all the sisters, because his dad actually uses his power to overpower the sisters, which is really messed up.
Because with them being lust-driven vampires. They can control feelings. Of course, every woman that walks past Thomas wants to take him to bed instantly.
Yeah.
And that's just something that the white courts kind of have. They have
that's
that
why Lara's like so super sexy and everybody wants her. She's in porno, but you find out that as they're children and they're growing up, they actually don't know about the supernatural world at all. It's actually kept a secret from them until they become of age and they start actually getting that lust and that hunger.
And they're still at that point not told about it. They go into this blindly and
end up killing their first, and then the family tells them about it.
Yeah.
And Thomas says that if they don't give in to, like, it's like a puberty stage, I guess you would say, but if they don't give in to that lust and end up killing on their first time, they can actually live a normal life and not be a vampire. They can actually
be human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so his little sister, I really can't remember the name of her right now, but she's
Ariana?
I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't remember.
Can't remember now.
She actually really likes this boy.
Yeah.
That's on the set, and they kind of have like this small romance going on, and so Thomas is kind of trying to push it so that his sister can have the choice to live a normal life and be in love and not kill somebody, like he's kind of killing Justine, even though he loves Justine. And at the end, so Harry makes not a promise, but like a deal with Lara that she will tell the baby sister like everything so that she doesn't end up killing, and she actually chooses that life. She ends up becoming human and moving out with Bobby at the end, and so she actually gets to live a normal life.
Yeah.
Lara ends up overpowering their father at the end, and so now she's kind of head of the household, even though the father is still alive, and she's making people believe he is still head of the household, so they still fear him,
and
even
Harry's
though she's
keeping that
him.
secret for her in turn for Thomas's safety.
Yeah.
From the family, because all his other brothers have died mysteriously, and it was done by their dad because he's afraid that the male will overpower and take his throne.
Yeah, pretty much. So at the end, when Lara overpowers him, Thomas is shamed and put out of the family, cast out. And so since Harry knows he's the brother, he takes him in, but they have this agreement that Thomas will not be harmed, and I will keep your secret that you're in control, and make everybody still believe the father's in control.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that we learn, a lot of different types of vampires in this one that kind of intermix, and we learn a lot more about their background and what they do, how they feed.
Yeah.
You know, so far to this one, we knew that Thomas was a white court, but we didn't know any background about what a white court vampire was. But we've only met up to this point just him and then the red court. So now in this one we learn about the black court, the red court, and the white court.
Yeah, and the black court is like your typical like supernatural vampires, you know, can't go out in the sunlight, have to drink blood, garlic, holy water, that stuff. That black court is like they said what the White Council had made the book of Dracula to like make people aware of black court vampires, and that's why there's not so many of them, because people actually kill them, find out and kill them.
Yeah, because they know how.
Yeah.
Where the other ones, they don't really know how because they didn't, they don't know about the other types of vampires.
Yeah. So, but that's a big, I can't remember how, like, the ending is pretty much just him finding Lashiel's sigil on his hand. I think that's how, like, this one ends, because then he's, like, talking with Bob, and they're like, well, what does this mean? You know, what's going to happen? And they're all, like, leaves it kind of open of, like, what's going to happen next. Yeah. There's some other things, but I think those things are in book 7, so I'm trying to keep my mouth shut.
So this, at the end of this one, it's just, him kind of discussing with Bob, what is this? Why? What do I need to do about it? Type of thing. And it leaves it at that. And then it picks up on book 7.
Yeah.
From there.
Book 7 picks up, like, really, really well.
Oh, yeah.
Right after it.
Well, all of these do, I think.
It picks up, like, I think it's like a year later, but, like, because then it picks up and, like, Mouse is ginormous.
Yes. And he's still a puppy.
Yeah.
He gets really enormous. I love Mouse.
Yeah, but so once we finish 7 and 8, we'll get back to it again.
Yep.
And more and more.
It's all up to you because I'm on the books again for the 3rd time, and I'm already.
I know. It's hard when I have to. Jobs.
No, I know it is, but I like them so much. Actually, I'm going back through them again for the 3rd time. So just trying to catch little tidbits. And we did a panel at Comic-Con this year that a lot of people were throwing out like different types of theories and stuff about it. So after we did that, I was like, well, you know what? I like them. Why not? I'll read through them again and see if I can kind of pick up those tidbits too. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm already on Death Masks.
Yeah. I know I found the audiobook for Frankenstein too for August 30th. I don't know how well it's going to be though, because it was written so long ago. So like the language, the language is just so different. Like I was found like one of those like read the first couple pages to see if you like it kind of thing online, and I was reading it and I was like, the language is just so old. Like, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this.
Well, we can give it a shot.
Yeah, if not, I'll just watch some Frankenstein movies.
Something.
So that's all we got for this time, and then we'll continue on our books. Hopefully get into other series along the way.
Jim Butcher does have another series. I don't know if you noticed that I marked some of those. I don't know how well this one is. I haven't checked it out.
Other books too. I mean, we can always do more Stephen King.
Well, yeah.
There's all kinds of books.
There's all kinds of books. Yeah.
So we will continue and keep Ghoulin.